The Zacks rank, value, momentum, growth, and income all factor into Zacks rank buys.
Well, I have a couple of interesting aggressive growth stock picks here for you, courtesy of Brian Boland, who's our aggressive growth stock strategist. And I'm just going to start right in here and let you tell the story on the first one, because it's an interesting little piece that you wrote as the bull of the day today.
Right.
On Radiant Logistics.
Right, Radiant Logistics. It's one of these low-price stocks that I always have my eye out on, and it has the Zacks rank #1. It also has a B for growth, so it does fit in our aggressive growth wheelhouse here.
And 3 times a bull of the day.
3 times a bull of a day in only a couple months, and that is a very rare occurrence. So, we wouldn't want to have it that many times as the bull of the day unless there's something big going on. You could have it once before earnings and say once after earnings, and that's kind of what the situation was, I believe, on the first 2. But now we're looking at what happened last week. There was a short seller that came in after this stock that gave us one of these, great headlines. This stock has got 30 to 50% downside risk. And that, let's face it, that's true of pretty much every stock out there. They all have that risk they could potentially go down a lot. But as I take a look at this report, and I did this in the bull of the day.
Yeah, I saw that. You did a very interesting and a full explanation of how that affects investors too.
Right, and let's just take a quick glance at this for the bull of the day today. It's June 15th,
right,
2017. Terry always loves to get the date in.
Right.
But I just talk about the general idea of, saying that it's a critical forensic look. It's kind of like you're giving this headline that's a little bit too much. You're overselling the idea. Also the idea of putting it on Seeking Alpha. This tells you that Spruce Point Capital Management is looking to, sell advertising against this idea. And there's not necessarily anything wrong with that, but that hurts the credibility of what it is you're doing. You don't see Citron, which is a short-selling entity, putting their research on Seeking Alpha, or you don't see Muddy Waters or Chanos Associates,
is he still around?
Jim Chanos, yeah.
I thought he was long gone.
Yeah, he's not out there in the public eye like these things, because what they end up doing, a lot of these things are called distort and short. So they distorted the facts on this entity, on this company, and then they short it. And we take a look at what they have also shorted in the past. Last year, around November, just in front of earnings, they said Burlington Stores was a very bad pick, possible 20 to 40% downside. That beat and then just ran right up. So that was a huge loss for them. Same thing with Wix. WIX is the ticker there. A very good stock. I think it's a 1 or a 2. It normally is. When they put the report out on that, it was 20 to 40% downside. That stock has gone up 35% since that report was released.
So if I understand right, what you're explaining here to investors is the purpose, the end game of these negative articles is to get you to sell your shares, and then the company or whoever comes in and scoops up more shares?
Possibly them, but not likely. I think they're just in it to short it and ahead of their report that sends the stock down, shakes out the weak hands that are holding the shares.
I see.
And then they cover their shorts. I would imagine that Spruce Point would be have covered their short by now. But the end idea is that do you believe a Spruce Point Capital Management that puts out this short report on Seeking Alpha, or do you believe the analysts at the brokerage firms that are covering this stock and this industry? And I'm going to go with the analysts. And if we take a look at the chart here, or at the back to the screen here, we can see that there hasn't been that much activity on earnings estimate revisions. The last quarter came in, or the estimate for next quarter is come in just a penny, which isn't much, but the quarter after that, holding steady at 5 cents. We see for the current year, 60 days ago it was 23 cents, it's bumped up to 27 cents, and for next year, 20 cents to 23 cents. So if you think about the estimates and, the things that really drive stocks as opposed to emotional things and chatter of this idea of, where someone at this company used to work, several years ago, what has happened and what that means to this stock right now, I'm going to go with the numbers. I'm going to go with the analysts. I'm not going to go with the Spruce Point Capital Management.
Sticking to fundamentals.
Sticking to the fundies.
All right. It's always fun to see you get fired up about stuff.
Yeah, well, that one in particular, because I think that 15% sell-off was pretty big. You know, they've made their mark. I think it's time for the stock to trade back to parity, where it should be in the low sixes.
All right, let's get over to one that you picked here off your radar that maybe doesn't have as many issues around it. Weight Watchers, the company that helps you watch your weight. They kind of tipping the scales over to the growth side, aren't they?
Tipping the scale. Very good, Terry. Very good. And, you know, it is a Zacks rank #1. It does have that A style score for growth, which is what we always love to see in these aggressive growth videos. You know, and as we take a look here at the estimates, we can see that there's only been a little bit of move up here from $1.25 to $1.28 for this year, but a big move for next year, $1.32 to $1.58. Now that's really what you want to see. And we can take a look at the chart here. I guess the story really got interesting third quarter of 2015 there. That's when Oprah came into the stock.
Yeah.
You know, it moved from you know, the single-digit midget and ran up to 26. There was also a buy-in from Third Point's Stevie Cohn, which is, you know, a big-time hedge fund manager.
Yep.
He hasn't done anything to his position, if I recall right. Following that, we saw the stock drop off. A couple earnings misses in there, but now it seems like it's got its packages together. The last couple earnings reports have been very good. Most recent report, 80% positive earnings surprise. So that's what we like to see.
And if I read correctly, they are getting or do have a new CEO, Mindy Grossman?
Maybe. That very well could be the case. I haven't checked it out that much. I'm just looking just at the scan on the numbers. So, but it's very likely that that's the case.
It's always interesting to see when that happens, what new the new person up at the top brings to the company.
Exactly. They can at least change the narrative a little bit and clean things up.
All right. Keep more tabs on how much weight Oprah lost. Maybe.
Exactly.
Who knows? Do you own either of these two?
I do not.
All right. Well, check out more information on Zacks.com regarding stocks, stock picks, stock picking strategies, commentary, all that fun stuff. And you can start by going over to the homepage and linking to it from there. With Brian, I'm Terry Ruffalo.